Okay, depending on where we left off in class, you should be at the point where you should be able to add transitions. Some of you might be ahead of this, other class periods might be the head of this, you might be at this part. So at this point, you should be adding your transitions. And rule of thumb for transitions is you want to stay away from words like first, second, third, or then, there, after, or next, or afterwards. You should have glued a list of transition words in your spiral or in your composition book, and so I would choose from there and try to stay away from the ones that you use all the time. You need a transition word in the beginning, in the middle, and the end of your paper. So if you look and see at the slide for step 7, the beginning goes right after your intro, the middle goes and right before your second sequence event, and your end is your third. So all that means is that you need 3 transition words. So take a couple minutes, pause the video so you could pick out some transition words to use. My transition words that I used are right here. You can see with the arrows right here in the orange. I used the worst thing for my transition into my first detail because I'm going to talk about my mom's cancer treatments and surgery. So I'm going to start with the worst thing and then go into that. My second word was gradually. Because I'm going to show that gradually through her treatment process, friends and family came along and they really helped out. And then my last one is towards the end, because then towards the end of her going through treatments, I had to go back to school. So I want that whole section to be about that. So pause this video and take a couple minutes to think of some transition words. Once you write the word, it either can go on top or to the side. Please circle it. Okay, pause this video. Once you're done writing transition words, you're going to write a closing or your conclusion paragraph. Now, if you see on this slide, it says in the yellow box, so what? Lesson learned from the event. So what was your lesson learned? Remember to not repeat your introduction. We don't want to do that. We don't want it to sound exactly the same. All you need is 2 to 3 sentences to basically say, so what? What did I learn from this? On the next slide, I will show you my example from mine. So on my closing, I put, going through a time like this can be so hard on a person, but it's times like these that teach us so much about ourselves. There are so many lessons I learned from my mom getting sick. However, the most important lesson for me was that I could get through it with hope and love. Hopefully you can see or hear what my lesson learned is. It was through an important time that we needed hope and love to get through this time, and so that's what I learned from all of this process. This was only 3 sentences. I don't want a 5 to 7 sentence closing, just 3 sentences to wrap it up, and that goes directly underneath your details that are up here. Mine is written sideways because I just had one continuous long thing going. So after this, when you're ready, go ahead and stop this video and write your closing. What we're going to do again is another oral rehearse after you're done with your conclusion. So when you are done with your conclusion, I want you to find a partner, and I want you to look at your whole pre-writing, all of this whole process that you did, your intro, your details, your sequencing, and your conclusion, and I want you to read it out loud. Okay, so just like we did the first time, you are going to read it like you have written it in complete sentences, and this is just for you to hear what it's going to sound like. Does it have to be perfect? No, but this is for you to have the chance to hear what you're writing and to see how it goes. So get with a partner, read yours, then that your partner should listen, and then swap places. This should take you no longer than about 4 minutes. So step 10 is where we should all be at hopefully now. So all you're going to do for step 10 is color code. I don't care what colors you use, but there's a significance to it. For step 10, you need the intro has to be one color, the middle part has to be one color, and the conclusion has to be one color. Okay, that's important. Don't mix your colors up. I still don't know if my 3 sequencing boxes are going to be 3 separate paragraphs. That's okay, but I know that that's the middle of my paper, which is why it's all going to be blue. So you need 3 separate colors. So circle it in your composition journal and do it in your 3 separate colors. Stop the video here to do that real quick. Here's my example. That's what mine look like. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to do 3 separate paragraphs, but I went ahead and circled all 3 of them because that's kind of looking like what I'm going to do is 3 separate paragraphs. But if I feel like that 2 of these could go together into 1 paragraph, I can do that. But my intro is green, my body is blue, and my closing is red. So you are to step 11. This is where you are going to take it off the map, and all that means is you are going to now write your paper. Now please read this carefully, this slide. The first bullet says write the story using the flow map as a guide. So this means we're not using flow maps anymore. We are writing on our paper. The second bullet point is write in the same color you used to circle the flow map, or you can write in pen, pencil, and underline or circle with your colors when you are finished. So what I want you to do is I want you to write in either a pen or a colored pencil. Make sure it's sharp, not marker, okay, not Sharpie, because this is going to be in your composition journal. We don't want it to bleed through. So whatever color your introduction is the color that you should use to write your introduction in full sentences and on a page in your journal. So same with the body paragraph. Okay, so my body paragraphs are blue, so I would have my writing in blue, in pen, or if I don't have a pen, I'd colored pencils. Okay, and then conclusion would be a separate color as well. If you are somebody that doesn't want to write in those, you're more than welcome to write in pencil and out to the side in some color indicate what color goes to what. Okay? The last bullet point on this says each change of color represents a new paragraph. Make sure you indent and do not skip lines. So make sure you indent. That means that 2-finger rule that you learned in elementary, put 2 fingers on the end so you can have that space in between the margin, that red margin line, and the start. Okay, so you are writing your paper now. If there's something that you want to change it. It's okay. This is our first draft, so this is your rough draft. Okay, but it needs to be in complete sentences with punctuation. This might take you a little while. Hopefully it won't, because you brainstormed everything, so it should just flow real quickly onto your composition journal. You can write front and back on the pages. You don't have to skip lines or anything like that. Okay, so your title should be rough draft. That's fine. And then but you always skip the first line and then you indent on the second to start writing. When you're ready for a new paragraph, you skip down to the next line, indent, and then start your new paragraph. Okay? Pause the video to do this. Well, look at this for example. I lied, don't pause. So here's introduction, and it should be in this color, your body. Okay, don't forget those transition words in your body. And then your conclusion. Remember, don't repeat your intro from paragraph 1. You're just rephrasing it. See how this is, there's 2 separate colors between the 3rd and the 4th paragraph. You don't have to do this. I want your body all one color, but I want you to make sure you indent and split it up into paragraphs, okay? When you're done with that, you are done. So stop the video to start writing your paper. If you need any help, raise your hand and the substitute will come help you. If you are utterly confused at some point, wait until Monday, get through what you can, and then we will go over it. Make sure you have your SSR book so you can read when you're done writing your paper. Hope you have a good day.